We've taken 6 of the world's top athletes to find out what it takes to make a true Olympian.
That's it, come on!
As we push their bodies to the max.
Ice hockey is a team game really like no other. They come onto the ice at 100%. They have to maintain that for the short period of time they're on the ice. They need to recover as rapidly as they can on the bench before being subbed back on again. So what ice hockey players are is incredibly explosive. Add on top of that, it is a brutal sport where collisions are continual, where the ability to be robust, to withstand those collisions, really does make ice hockey something very special on the Olympic program.
At the Olympic Winter Games Sochi 2014, Canada won their 4th consecutive gold medal. Jen Wakefield is a key member of their forward line, and her high-energy, high-impact style has made her one of ice hockey's biggest names.
I think my biggest strength would probably be just my size and my weight. I'm one of the heavier and taller hockey players. When I'm most effective is when I can push people around and win battles in the corner. So, you know, I might not look the best in a bathing suit, but I get the job done in the winter.
We've come to Buckinghamshire New University and its world-renowned Human Performance Lab. Our team of scientists will be testing Jen to the limit as we find out just what's made her one of ice hockey's fiercest competitors. Jen's physical presence has made her a star not just of the women's game, but also a major force in the Swedish men's league. But what is it that makes her anatomy so suited to this most demanding of sports? We're about to find out.
I mean, the typical body shape of a female ice hockey player is probably akin to rugby. They have to be fast, they have to be strong, they have to be powerful, but they also have to withstand the massive collisions that are occurring on a continual basis.
The BODPOD calculates the amount of lean muscle and fat that the human body is carrying. For a power athlete like Jen, it's a balance between having enough mass to withstand the intensity of her sport without compromising her speed and agility on the ice.
So Jen, your result would be 22.9%.
We play a 36-game schedule, so I feel like it's more of like a carb loading and getting the weight on to play the position I play.
Jen's body fat percentage is only marginally higher than individual athletes like tennis players, where physical presence isn't such an advantage, and her score of 22.9% puts her firmly in the top tier of female team sports athletes, leaner still than rugby and basketball players.
So 22.9% body fat really indicates how robust she needs to be in order to withstand the pressure of ice hockey itself and maintain performance throughout the game. Crucially, this is really what ice hockey is all about. Once on ice, you need to produce maximum power, maximum speed over short durations, multiple times before coming off the ice again. So the repeated sprint test really is ice hockey specific.
In a typical match, forwards like Jen play in a series of shifts, intense 45-second periods of action, which demand both explosive power and speed, all generated from hamstrings, calf muscles, hip flexors, and quadriceps.
3, 2, 1, go!
The repeated sprint test is a series of 10 full-throttle, maximum effort 20-meter bursts with minimal rest in between.
Okay, good work, Jen. I'm back quickly. Go.
These will test Jen's anaerobic ability to the max.
Keep going, keep going, keep going.
Ice hockey is a game of high-intensity, short-burst, maximal efforts with players skating at speeds of 30 kilometers per hour. And being fast is everything.
Big push now for this last one. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go! Go, 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 go! Go on, push, 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 push! Great work, Jen. Brilliant.
Her fastest 20-meter sprint from a standing start was 3.42 seconds. So that tells us that she is very, very quick. But the most extraordinary result of all is what we call the fatigue index, which is basically how much she slows down over those 10 efforts. And if you take a look at that, her fastest was 3.42, and she only slowed to 3.63 seconds. That's just a drop of 6% in speed. Now that really is outstanding.
How do you feel about those results?
It's good I can recover quickly, but yeah, you get faster.
Do you want to get a bit faster?
Yeah, hopefully I show better on the ice than I do with running.
The lung function test is important when we look at elite athletes because to some extent, ice hockey is actually about aerobic capacity. On ice, it's all about speed, it's all about power output. But off ice, it's actually about being able to recover in order to come back onto the ice to replicate that high power output, high speed.
During an ice hockey game, Jen will typically participate in 20 shifts, the high-demand periods of game time, which will require her to perform multiple short-burst sprints, withstand heavy collisions, and employ her technical skills to their best advantage.
Okay, so I'm gonna give you this nose clip to wear. Take a deep breath and then put your mouth around the mouthpiece and start blowing. Keep blowing, keep blowing, keep blowing, keep blowing, keep blowing.
Oxygen is the fuel Jen needs to sustain these repeated efforts, and a powerful respiratory system is essential to get the fuel to where it's needed most, fast.
Okay, keep blowing, keep blowing, keep blowing, keep blowing. Nearly there, keep blowing. Stop. Okay.
So Jen's results for the lung function test really are very good. In terms of what's called force vital capacity, which is effectively the volume of the lung, she is 106% of what we expect to see. And in terms of function, she had 117% of what we'd normally expect to see. Now that is an outstanding result. That forms the central pillar of this aerobic capacity that we know is so important for Jen during those recovery phases between her on-ice performance.
I think the thrill of ice hockey for me started when I was a kid, just because my whole family played it. I have 14 cousins, so it was nice to kind of jump on the pond and, you know, try to be the best out of my cousins, and we're a very competitive family. To make the Olympic team in Sochi was an unimaginable feeling, and then, you know, the way we won the final, coming back down 2-0 with 4 minutes left. You know, you realize it's such an incredible feeling to win it, not only for your country, but to have your parents there that were backing you 100%. After winning, it's such an addictive feeling, and, you know, I've dedicated the next 4 years of my life to train for Pyeongchang, and, you know, you never know what's going to happen. You never know injuries. You never know, you know, if you're going to have the best year of your life or the worst year of your life, and you kind of just have to give 100% and to have no regrets looking back on it. What separates you from being an Olympian versus separates you from almost making it.
The vertical jump test is a very important measure of power output. Now, power is strength delivered as rapidly as possible. In other words, it's force per unit time. And in ice hockey, that is absolutely key.
The explosive energy Jen needs to propel her across the ice places huge demands on many muscle groups: calves, adductors, glutes, and quads. Can she produce the power when she needs it to stay up with the action during game time?
You need to start on the jump mat
All right.
with both feet. Push yourself upward
Okay.
and then land with both feet on the mat.
Okay.
By measuring the force that Jen applies to the specially calibrated mat,
Fantastic.
we can calculate her vertical jump height, a metric which relates directly to the power she can generate from her lower body. In ice hockey, with its reliance on short, intense bursts of speed, it's vital that a forward player can call on maximum power whenever they need it to make those big plays that can change a game.
Got a 43.2.
Oh, yes.
Yes, 43.2.
Perfect. Done.
You're pleased with that,
Yeah.
I bet.
Yeah, no, I am.
No, you've done really well.
Thank you.
Well done.
Jen's vertical jump test of 43.5 centimeters is exactly what we'd expect to see. It is above average, is an excellent result, and is indicative of the power and critically the speed that she requires when on ice. The VO2 max test is our measure of aerobic capacity, effectively our aerobic endurance. Now, at first sight, you would expect an ice hockey player not to require a massive aerobic capacity because it is about speed and power over short periods of time. But the key is that they have to recover. So when they come off ice, they've got a short period of recovery before coming back on to try and replicate that power and that speed. And it's the aerobic capacity which will underpin that recovery.
Jen's ability to take in the maximum amount of oxygen and deliver it to where it is needed most is crucial if she's to be able to produce peak performance for shift after shift on the ice. And the VO2 max will push her to her limit.
Okay, let's go. So we're up at 130 beats per minute now, heart rate.
In the intensity of an ice hockey shift, forwards like Jen are hitting peak heart rates in excess of 90% of their maximum.
Really got to dig deep a little bit now. Let's see how far we can get. Make sure you keep going, keep going, keep going.
Each shift in ice hockey is a high-intensity workout. Jen is having to repeat shift after shift with just a few minutes off the ice to rest, so she needs serious powers of endurance.
Now let's find another gear, keep pushing. I'm on 262 watts. Come on, Jen, aim for 280. Come on, keep pushing, come on. Keep that cadence nice and high. Keep going, keep going. Come on, keep pushing, keep pushing. Let's go, let's go, let's go, come on. Keep it going, keep it going, keep it going. And okay, so drop 10 watts. Let's end the test there. We take the mask off for you. And well done. Great effort.
The VO2 max test results for Jen are good. But the interesting thing about Jen is that when she is preparing for international competition, we know that her VO2 max is in the region of 51.4, much higher. And of course, that is absolutely crucial when you are playing multiple matches on consecutive days. And it's exactly where she needs to be an elite team game player.
Jen's performance in our tests has proved that to be a gold medal winning ice hockey player,
Keep going, keep going, keep going.
you really need to be the complete physical package.
Now let's find another gear, keep pushing.
Endurance levels that would match many in the NHL and massive explosive power, all underpinned by an anatomy that can withstand the punishment of one of Olympic sport's most demanding events.
Jen's results really are exceptional. For me, it's her ability to move fast and sustain that on repeated occasions are what make her an Olympic gold medalist and one of the best players in the world.
The thrill of ice hockey for me, it's a complete adrenaline rush. No situation is ever the same, and you never know if it's going to be a 1-1 game heading into overtime, sudden death, or you're going to crush a team 5-0, and is what's super cool to be able to experience.